In this video, I'll demonstrate 3 tips for fast hands, and by the end of this video, you will have what you need to maximize your potential. If you like that, subscribe to get a new lesson every week. I've taught over 1,000 students how to play the drums, and I can show you too. I'm Gabriel, and you are watching the YouTube channel of DrumTipTuesday.com. Tip number 1, make nice, even single strokes. How do you do that? You do it one hand at a time. You take an exercise, we used to call it 8 on a hand, it works out real nice. It's in a bar of 4/4 time, just play 8/8 notes, go back and forth between your hands. Something like this. It's real easy. You just make sure that you're playing nice and even stick heights, even velocity of stroke. You don't want your strokes to be high and light. You don't want them to be too fast to the head. Just split the difference. You want to make a nice sound no matter what dynamic level. If you're light, if you're soft. You still want to push into the head a little bit. Move the stick fast through the space. Make that even from one hand to the other by putting in a part of the exercise that forces you to put them both together. So 8 on a hand, 8 on a hand, then 16th notes leading with the left, 8 on a hand on the left, 8 on a hand on the right, then 16th notes leading with the right hand. Something like this. Different dynamic levels. When you work on that, there's really nothing else to it. Nothing fancy about singles. Just even them out from hand to hand, go through all the different dynamic levels. Tip number 2, double strokes. Something real special about playing double strokes. You want to strengthen up, the second part of the double. You always want to make sure that you're not playing your doubles like this, but that you are playing them like this. How do you do that? Any number of ways. Today, let's take a shuffle, which is usually drum set lessons here. Today we're breaking it down on a pad, but let's do a shuffle, like the first and last note of the triplet in 4/4 time. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a... This makes us think about the downbeat. Let's play it a little faster, makes a little more sense of this thing. 1, 2, 3, down. Doesn't sound much like a roll yet though. So what we want to do is speed that up. Think about a 16th note triplet roll. Kind of like a Rosanna shuffle. After we get the idea of playing them one hand at a time, going to want to alternate them and just try to maintain that mindset of emphasizing the second part of the double, right? Hold on to that as long as you can as you alternate more and more and speed up. Anything that makes you emphasize the second half of the double stroke is good. I remember I had an old rudimental sheet when I was a kid. It said 13 rudiments. It was a long time ago. And it was just a sheet that had written on top of it the long roll. That was the first rudiment that they were showing us. And it actually had written out left, two lefts, two rights, but an accent, boom, right over the second left hand. And as you read across the sheet, the notes got closer and closer together. And I think what they were trying to represent visually was this sort of vibe, right? Right? If you want to do a samba, that's fine too. Take the right hand out, keep the left hand low, fill on the inside notes of the left hand. Do it off the left. Moving right along. Before we do, I want to know, who's the fastest drummer you ever saw? Comment below. Let's get a conversation started about that. Tip number 3. You want to clean your accents. Make sure that your accent patterns aren't wasting a lot of energy by not being able to hold down the accent or the energy from the accent to play the next tap. How do you do that? You play an exercise called, we've called it a lot of different things. It's just this. Accent, unaccented. Accented, unaccented. Do it on the other hand. When I play it one hand at a time, really slow like that, if I'm just going to focus on one hand, I kind of like to think about the old-fashioned down and up strokes. Downstroke starts high, ends low. Upstroke starts low, ends high, right? Get out of the head as quick as you can. Right? But after you get it moving a little bit, you want to find a way to alternate them. Play the same sort of thing that we did with 8 on a hand, except go like 4 accents, all the downbeats and all the downbeats. After the last one, hold it down, don't go to another upstroke. I guess you'd be playing like a tap stroke. At any rate, this is what I'm talking about. Just controlling the energy of the accent to get to the lower dynamic level. Now, you say, how is that very useful? Well, it's real useful if you're doing something like this. Right? You want to make sure that you're not wasting a lot of energy or, so that you can't play all the notes that come in between the accents. So, let's take a couple examples. Let's put some taps together, a little bit more complex. Let's just play 1 accent, 2 taps, just like this, like triplets. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a... The paradiddle. We don't know what that is. Right, left, right, left, left. But we want to just make sure that there's an accent on every downbeat. Let's do that together and work on that. After that, paradiddle diddle. Let's try that out. Accent, tap, then 2 doubles, right? Paradiddle diddle, right? Off the left hand. That kind of vibe. Now why do I do just that simple accent pattern, paradiddles and paradiddle dills? Because that thing I played just a minute ago, all this stuff, it's all, except for that last part, it's all paradiddles and paradiddle diddles. You can then, once you can control your accent, make sure that you look into the patterns of what you're playing. So you're playing something that's based on paradiddles and paradiddle diddles. Take a paradiddle, put one hand on a softer surface like your leg or something. Don't hit your leg too hard. Then just listen to the rhythm that's made with the one hand, like this. So basically, it is your one hand at a time's ability to play this thing. Right, faster. To play that accent and control the low note. So you can make an exercise out of that. Same thing with the paradiddle diddle, of course. That thing, one hand at a time. For a more in-depth study of all these concepts, visit drumtiptuesday.com and get your free 7-day trial. Until then, like, subscribe, and check out these videos next.